Travolting presents Bobbin for Robin. Hosted by Jeff Sweeney and Stuart Elmore. Covering Bicentennial Man. With special guest, Matt Ubalde.
By the year 2005,
family? I guess so.
every home will have an NDR 114.
Andrew, this is very good.
Thank you, sir.
He was designed to serve humans.
Would you please open the window?
One is glad to be of use.
Now jump. No!
Oh, that's right. We're talking about Bicentennial Man today, guys. I wasn't going to play the full trailer.
You should.
Why not?
Out the window.
But there was something different about Andrew.
How do you make a hanky dance?
He's a robot.
You're unique. I feel a responsibility to help you become whatever you're able to be.
Now,
Oh my God, I know this
an
song was in
extraordinary
it.
robot
He learns and grows all the time.
is about to become an ordinary man.
Imperfection. That's what makes
Oliver
us unique.
Platt,
Like the shape of your
man.
head. It's huge.
This looks
Enough of
wonderful.
this. Enough of this.
Yeah, I agree.
Stuart, I just have a few things. I just have one thing to say about this.
What do you have to say?
AI
Actually in
back
the
to back,
suit?
which is
No.
fine. He is.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
He's actually in the suit?
Yeah. So Robin Williams as Bicentennial Man.
Why did they put him in the suit?
Why did they put him in the suit?
Did they put him in the
Why
suit?
they put my man in the suit?
Could have been anybody.
That's crazy.
He
He wanted to be in the suit.
How
man.
much money did they spend putting him in the suit?
Okay. We're gonna talk about this when we cover Bicentennial Man.
Why is he in the suit? Doesn't make any sense.
Bicentennial Man. The robot. All right.
What's weird? What's that from, Jeff?
It's from our Patch Adams episode.
Wow.
Starring Alex Wilson, old buddy,
Old buddy.
of the conglomerate. So we're finally going to answer Alex's question from 2 weeks ago. Why did they put Robin
Why they
Williams
put
in
my
the
man
suit?
in the suit? He had to shave. According to the IDB, he had to shave off considerable amount of body hair.
We have seen Robin Williams shirtless.
He is
Oh yeah.
a hairy man. Yeah.
Some would call him a bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like. I envision like it's like that part in the Wolverine movie where like they have to like shave Wolverine and there's just like like a power washer to him, except it's Robin Williams being power washed to fit in the Bicentennial Man suit. This robot looks terrifying. Can we just cut to it? I think he looks really scary.
I actually had no problems with this design.
Thought he was like, I thought it was an all right design.
it
like,
looks too much like Robin is my concern.
yeah,
it's it's a little unsettling.
I mean, especially by the end, it looks too much like Robin Williams. But
yeah, it looks way too much like Robin at the end. Thought they should have made him look more fake. No, I thought the design was okay. I was expecting it to be worse, but my only issue is that it's clearly a man in a suit. Just the way he moves, he moves like how a man who's trying to move robotically moves.
right, but do you have a problem with C-3PO?
C-3PO is different.
Okay, if I could actually identify what my issue with this robot is, which is decidedly not the main conversation of today.
It kind of is though.
No, he looks very plasticky,
Yes.
in spite of like ostensibly being a metal construct, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If I have any like issue with him,
Well, like
So,
when he
so
get,
you wanted him to be shinier.
I want him to be a little shinier. Like he looks like a rubber suit. Whereas like C-3PO like looks like an uncomfortable metal suit because that's what they put poor Anthony Daniels in for 12 hours a day.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a harder sell for Robin Williams.
because he's not a small guy either.
Like Robin should have been clanking it up as he walked around.
Yeah.
I will say, what I like about the design is it does remind me of like Metropolis.
Yeah, no, it's very Metropolis-esque. Like I like all of the design of it. It's just the face is a little disconcerting and it doesn't look metal enough. But these are minor nitpicks ultimately.
When he gets the facial upgrade, this is before we get actual Robin head face. That is a very plastic, rubber-looking face, which I almost think to do the expressions, you kind of have to do a rubber face, right?
Yeah.
You guys remember iRobot, right?
Yeah.
I did not murder him.
I did not murder him. But like how they design like those like
Y'all got any
shinier
fun?
robots with like almost like a rubber face kind of to make them more expressive. Like you almost kind of have to do that with metallic robots can't they can't smile. This robot, he smiles.
Eventually,
He frowns.
Reminder of one of the all-time memes from iRobot.
What? Why? Jeff just showed me an iRobot meme that I did not
I
understand.
showed you an iRobot meme in 2025. Think about that.
Is iRobot a good movie? What's our thoughts on iRobot?
I don't
It
know.
follows
I think,
the
I think
same
we
three
need to save
laws.
that for the Will Smith.
Yeah, the
Will
Smith and Co.
The Will I Am podcast.
Will I have the Will We Are podcast.
The Will We Are.
The Winter's Tale episode would be 7 hours long.
Yes.
Well, Matt, have you ever heard of Winter's Tale?
I have not.
So it's a movie about it's Colin Farrell and I forget who the love interest is, but it's like a fairy tale movie set in like New York City in like the 20s or whatever, and they're being pursued by Russell Crowe, who's playing some Irish gangster named Pearlie. Except it turns out he's a servant of Satan, and Satan is played by Will Smith in one scene. And the whole movie is just Russell Crowe walking around going, I'd like some spotted duck. Can I get some spotted duck? And like slashing people's throats with his claws.
I need to see this.
And then Will Smith shows him and is like, hey, I'm Satan. You got to relax. You got to make sure you get this kid for it.
Oh my God, this was a bomb.
It made like $1. It actually made negative money at the box office. Before. You could go to the local AMC and say, "Can you give me money instead of going to see Winter's Tale?" And you would have to fork over $15.
I'm looking up Winter's Tale right now. Holy shit, yeah.
But ultimately, like, I think, what I have some issues with this movie, indicative in the design, is like, it's very Metropolis, like, perfect future utopia look, except the face is very cartoony. Because Robin has he has a kind of cartoony face to him. Mm-hmm. And that's ultimately my qualm with the design, I feel like.
I definitely would have preferred if they started with a much more robotic face.
Yeah, and like
especially-
slowly.
Yeah, especially when he gets the first face upgrade.
It's the
before
eyes.
we jump over it.
I think
yeah.
it's the eyes.
Yeah.
And they add the eyebrows and they add like little dimples with the cheeks. It's like it's like they're trying to make a robot face, but they're carving the face out to be like very humanistic, which is like, I kind of like, realistically speaking, I understand why a manufacturer would try to do that. You want to make the robots look kind of like humanistic in some way, but the eyes, I think, are what's the more unsettling part, where you're just like, oh man, like you're staring into my soul. Like, but I didn't have too many issues with the design, at least at first. We'll get into.
Before we get into it anymore, welcome Matt back.
Oh, yeah.
And we have last time you were with us was for God Help Me Square Dance, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
it's been a minute.
beginning of Winona.
Minute.
We're now back for the Bobbin for Robin era. We did unfortunately have to break your streak of doing the first guest episode.
Oh yeah,
because I think I showed it to you and you're like, I'm not gonna do. Can I do it till I need glasses?
Yeah, that was the line.
You wanted to do? Did we have anybody for GARP or?
We did not have anyone for GARP. We did have Mark Tilley for Popeye.
We should have you for GARP.
Kinda
That'd been
for
a
GARP.
great Metaball Day episode.
GARP.
GARPing it up, man.
GARP.
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 GARP. GARP.
But
I didn't know that. I just you're telling me now for the first time.
yes.
GARP.
Matt, what's your connection to Robin Williams and specifically this movie?
I mean, I watched this movie as a child.
Yeah. Was this a big movie for you as a kid?
I wouldn't say a big movie. It was interesting. I for sure have seen it a couple of times. It wasn't one of those that was on a loop.
Yeah.
But like I didn't grow up with Aladdin. Like I didn't really watch Aladdin or any other Robin Williams movie. So this was like the one that I knew from my childhood.
Interesting.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Something different.
Because like most guests be coming in and they're like, yeah, obviously Mrs. Doubtfire, Aladdin, yada yada when I was a kid, and then Good Will Hunting or Dead Poet Society changed my life when I was 18.
Right.
It's like kind of the typical story we run into with a lot of our guests. But you coming in and saying Bicentennial Man was like the one.
Yeah, when I picture Robin Williams, I picture him in that fucking suit.
You picture the suit.
Very good.
We talk about like sometimes on the show like the concept of the obituary movie, and it's like when an actor like or director passes away, like what's the movie that like the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline like put in the title, where it's like like God forbid Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones star, is like usually what it would say, or like David Lynch, Twin Peaks creator. And I just like that in the Matt Balde like world. It's like Robin Williams, Bicentennial Man star. That's the way age 66.
What's this Dead Poet Society bullshit?
Get all this cinema out
Yeah,
of here.
we're talking about the real shit.
Yeah.
I went to film school so that I could analyze Bicentennial Man.
Yeah.
Which is where we met, and you were still talking. No, you never brought up Bicentennial Man in film school.
Like, hi Jeff, my name's Matt. Have you seen the Chris Columbus Bicentennial Man movie? And you're like, the one with Robin Williams? Like, yeah, that one.
the Chris Columbus context for this movie.
Oh boy, I didn't think we were gonna get into it so quickly.
No, you kind of gotta get into it right away.
Let's go.
Oh, you're. Okay.
I was queuing you up.
You're just queuing me up,
motherfucker.
because like the Chris Columbus is coming off of a pretty like big run.
Yes.
Where he's done like Home Alone, Home Alone 2. He brought Hugh Grant to the States with 9 Months, a movie we talked about. Mrs. Doubtfire, huge success. And then his previous film to this is Stepmom, which is also a big success. It gets a few like Golden Globe nominations. It's like a pretty well received little drama. Mm-hmm. The reviews might not be great, but it's a hit. Mm-hmm. It works for the people at home. As we run into a lot with Chris Columbus as a filmmaker, where it's he's very good at just like making a competent middle brow journeyman movie. Yeah. That
it's like Ron Howard.
It's a Ron Howard type, where it's like the general family at home is going to be able to trust a Chris Columbus movie. Yeah. Like whether they're good or bad aren't really the spectrum they're operating on. It's like kind of in the middle, like watchable, like good watchable to like kind of boring is kind of where he operates. Mm-hmm. Like in the first two Harry Potters, Home Alone, I would say he's made like some success, like classics in this era. Yeah. But he's a huge name at this time. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of like his and Robin's blank check movie. Yeah. Because Mrs. Doubtfire was a huge success for both of them. Yep. Robin does his little bit in 9 months. And now Robin's won an Oscar. Chris Columbus is like the director of the moment for family films. Yep. And they can make whatever the hell they want. Yeah. And what do they make?
They make Bicentennial Man.
Bicentennial Man.
Yeah.
Which is an adaptation.
It's adaptation of an Isaac Asimov short story. Oh, no, it's an Isaac Asimov novel that is based on a short story.
Yeah, the novel is The Positronic Man, which is based off of the novelette Bicentennial Man.
It's funny because, like, watching this movie, I was like, oh, I can see where the ideas of the novel are, but I can also see where, like, the Robin Williams of it kind of, like, takes over. Yeah. And then you look at the novel, and it's like, oh, no, everything is in there. It's, like, a very, very, like, honest and straight adaptation of the story.
Mm-hmm. I will say they do change the dates a lot.
Yeah.
It's like 150 years further in the future.
Yeah. This one starts in 2005.
Yeah. This movie came out in 1999 and they said by 2005.
Yeah, they said 6 years we're getting robots.
We're getting robots, man.
We're getting Robin Williams as a robot.
Like you really have to respect it when a movie like calls it shot that quick. Like I think the craziest is 2001: A Space Odyssey. They're like 40 years, guys. It's all going to be said. We're going to be on the moon.
Like, Blade Runner is like 2019.
Blade Runner is 2009. Blade Runner, like, kind of is like almost okay.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's like, yeah, we said it about 40 years in the future. That seems about right.
Have you seen the landscape?
Yeah.
like Los Angeles.
Yes, we kind of pivoted. We did okay compared to Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Back to the Future is limited by the fact that like Marty has to be an older man in the 2015. They can't set it in 2075.
Yeah, right.
And have like Michael J. Fox getting pushed around like the grandma who wants chocolate and SpongeBob.
Yeah, right.
What is he selling?
It is truly bold. Just to say,
6 years.
middle of the Bush administration, we're gonna have robots. 6 years away.
Yeah. And it goes.
Hurricane Katrina, don't even worry about it.
What's that?
Jeff, what were you doing in 2005?
I was watching Revenge of the Sith, bro. I was going to the AMC multiplex. I'm seeing Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
I was going to Goodrich.
The only
7.
fucking thing I can think about that I did in 2005.
Yeah, same here.
What did you
Revenge
do
of
in
the Sith.
2005?
I probably wasn't even living in the States in 2005. I don't think. I think I was living in Ecuador.
So we all of us were not living with robots.
No,
is what
no,
you're
not
saying.
at all.
Is what we're saying.
Nobody was living with a robot.
Unless my grandma was something I didn't.
What Matt secretly had a row. Yeah. What if this whole like podcast match should be like, guys, I have one of these. Did you not? And then he's like, come on in, and the robot walks in the room. We're like, oh shit.
Hello. My name is Robin Williams.
Yeah, and I just call him Robin. We skipped over the Andrew business.
Yeah.
Which also, Andrew, his name is
Andrew.
Little Miss saying Android wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sam Neill's just like, yeah.
I guess we're calling him Andrew now.
Call him Andrew. And he commits for 200 years.
200
to the
years,
name.
the bit. Andrew Martin.
Andrew Martin.
Yeah.
But this really is like Robin post Oscar is like, I am going to make the movies that I want to make that make people feel good.
Well, because something to, in finishing out like the context. So like after he wins the Oscar, like he essentially gets like 3 blank check movies back to back to back. It's Patch Adams, Jacob the Liar, and Bicentennial Man. This is like the last.
Robin, obviously a guy we're covering because he's like a wonderful actor, an incredible like cultural figure.
Yeah.
Something that we have identified is he's not always the best judge of like taste, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Like when he gets his Oscar for kind of like a like difficult, kind of nuanced performance in Good Will Hunting, a movie that doesn't have easy answers in it. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to give the people what they want. 3 movies about guys who got the answers, and they're very schmaltzy and saccharine, because it's like Patch Adams, a doctor who makes his patients laugh. They're going to love it. Jacob the Liar. He plays a Jewish
Polish
man
Jew.
in the Holocaust, and he brings laughter to the ghetto. And Bicentennial Man, he's like a robot, but this one's got a personality, and he's bringing laughter across 200 years. And he's just like, Robin, buddy, this was not like the trilogy to bank on. Here.
Yeah, right. And
you won the Oscar for like really getting in there on a character, and you're just like, but the doctor,
people want to see me be like,
he makes the patients laugh. He's got the clown shoes.
But like the thing is, like they liked me in Good Will Hunting because I was the therapist that made the Boston guy laugh. It's like, no, that's not why you won the Oscar, man. And the other thing to that point that Jeff, you mentioned is that Robin, and this is like, I'm reading the Robin biography by Dave Itzkoff, and a concurring thread that we've pulled on a few times with Robin's choice of movies is like, he'll outwardly always say it's like, I never just pick a movie for the money. Like I always try to find like something to like really empathize with, something that like I can see myself, putting a piece of myself into the role, right? So it's like, Jacob the Liar, I'm basically Jewish. And it's like, okay, man. Or like Bicentennial Man, it's like, well, my wife calls me a robot in bed. Hey. So like, it's just like the weird things where he like will say it's like he can find a piece of himself in each of these roles that he does. And they're not always justifiable enough. Like I understand an actor being like reading a script and it's like, I think I can pull on something here, right? But yeah, these 3 movies back to back to back. It's why like we made the divider line of our eras be between What Dreams May Come and Patch Adams, because it's these 3 movies that really just it's the post Oscar win trilogy run where he's just like making some bad moves here. Bad moves. Yeah. So, but yeah, Bicentennial Man, Chris Columbus. This movie comes out in 99. And we talked about it's based off of the Isaac Asimov novelette and novel. This movie has Sam Neill in it. I was pleasantly surprised to see Sam Neill.
When is he bad?
When is he bad?
When's he bad?
You saw Mouth of Madness recently.
I did watch Mouth of Madness recently.
Yeah, I hear he's really good in Mouth of Madness.
You watched the movie?
No, I haven't.
Stuart, I made you watch the movie like 3 years ago.
When?
You sat there and you watched it and you texted me, Jeff, I have a suspicion about how this movie's going to end.
What did I say?
I don't know, 3 years ago.
That's 3 years ago. Too long
you
ago.
literally watched that movie.
Literally, it's left my mind.
Have you ever seen In the Mouth of Madness?
I have not.
John Carpenter movie about Sam Neill. Essentially, like the pitch of the movie is like, what if Stephen King went missing? And like weird things are happening.
I have seen this movie.
And Sam Neill's like the auditor who's sent to like go find Stephen King and like get the new book from him because they need to sell the manuscript. And he goes there and finds out that like the book has essentially come to life.
Yep, I have
very
seen
good
this movie. I remember now.
But Sam Neill,
weird movie.
Sam Neill, incredible actor. Very underappreciated, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
He's doing like yeoman's work in most of his films. He's just like very steady, dependent.
Yeah.
Always hitting. Except the one thing about him, in Jurassic Park, he has a really strong grasp on his accent. Mm-hmm. I never hear the Australian in Jurassic Park.
Oh boy, in this movie.
In this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And in The Mouth of Madness, I am hearing the Australian so much.
Yeah.
I thought he was doing a British thing at one point.
I thought so too. I was like, what is it about Jurassic Park where he was able to hold the American accent without issue? Because you watch the movie, you never think about him being Australian. And then you watch this, and there's like the one part he's like, all right, kids. And then he starts kind of talking a little bit like this. And you're like, Sam.
Come on.
What happened, buddy?
I think there's just a lack of dinosaurs in this movie.
There's a lack of dinosaurs. The dinosaurs really scared him into
when there's robots, the accent comes out. When there's dinosaurs, the accent stays in. That's the term. Have you guys seen him in Daybreakers? I think he's really good in Daybreakers.
He doesn't miss.
He doesn't miss. He's so good. Event Horizon. Oh, he's so good in Event Horizon. Jeff, have you seen Event Horizon?
I've not seen Event Horizon. I know he kind of like goes crazy at the end.
He goes fucking ballistic.
Doesn't he? He's the one who does like the pencil thing in Event Horizon, right?
What's the pencil thing?
It's the thing they do in Interstellar where it's like they're trying to explain the concept of the wormhole.
Yes, he did it first.
It's like the all-timer like explanation of the wormhole is he's like, so imagine you're trying to get to two places on a piece of paper. There's here and here. A wormhole bends the paper and you punch the pencil through.
Yeah. He's
Christopher Nolan's just
he did the pencil thing.
I can't think of anything better and just does it again.
I mean, that is just like the explanation.
It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
It is the way to do it. Yeah.
The ultimate
I
like
need to watch Event Horizon again.
Sam Neill,
such a good movie.
Is just a guy who like is always locked in, always delivering the goods.
Yeah.
He did this awful movie called Memoirs of an Invisible Man. It's a John Carpenter movie starring Chevy Chase as the Invisible Man.
That's a scary movie.
You listen to any interview with John Carpenter, and he basically says Chevy Chase broke him, and that's why he never directed a good movie again.
Good.
He said it was such a miserable. But like
that's Chevy Chase laughing at the periphery.
Is the Invisible Man in the movie a surprisingly more serious movie than you'd expect with Chevy Chase starring in it? And at the end of the movie, he takes Sam Neill hostage. And so Sam Neill has to do essentially like 5 minutes of the movie by himself with a like set deck gun taped to the side of his head and act like he's being hauled by an invisible man through a whole like corporate space. And it is an incredible performance.
Yeah.
Because like he manages to like, all right, yep, let me through here. Without any like he keeps the composure up the entire time. It's incredible.
And he's still acting, right?
Yeah, he's still acting.
I know he's in the new Jurassic.
He was in
Park.
Jurassic World 6. Remember that one? Remember Jurassic World Dominion? Remember that, guys?
Not to. I just like that his Twitter handle is 2 paddocks.
Apparently, he is in Godzilla X Kong Supernova.
Oh, the new one that's coming out.
There's another. I didn't even know they were filming another Godzilla X Kong. That's cool. I like Godzilla X Kong. I like that Godzilla fights Kong and they punch each other. And then they team up to fight a big monkey.
They do, yeah.
Who are they going to fight this time? Anyway, Sam Neill, Jurassic World Dominion. Don't watch it. Just watch Jurassic Park again. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
it is the perfect movie.
Jurassic World Dominion?
No, Jurassic Park.
Did anyone see Jurassic World Rebirth?
I did.
The new one
was not.
It's not very good.
It's not very good.
What I like in it is that Jurassic World Dominion ends with like all the dinosaurs are free in the world, and they're like, yeah, they're gonna hang out. And Jurassic World Rebirth starts with, they all died. Actually, they're actually only on this island. Again, you're like, wait, why did we do all this then? If they're just going back to the island.
That movie has such little kid writing.
Yes,
where they're like, yeah, we can solve all of the world's diseases if we get the blood from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Anytime a movie is like, the secret to curing this disease is in the dinosaur. Like they've done it like 3 times. Like, what does this mean? In the real world, we aren't curing diseases by like going out and like absorbing the skin of like a Gila monster or anything.
No, but a way that you can cure disease is by having artificial organs.
Yes.
Like in this movie.
Like in Bicentennial Man.
Very
Way
good.
to bring it back.
Very good.
What a story,
Okay.
Mark.
So based on the Isaac Asimov, The Positronic Man, which bad title compared to Bicentennial Man. Bicentennial Man is a great title.
It's a great title.
Like Bicentennial Man is a fantastic title. And when we get into like talking this movie, I'm basically fully in on this movie for like the first half.
Yeah.
The second Robin gets skin, this movie kind of loses me.
Yeah.
I read the Roger Ebert's review on this movie, and he has a line where he's like, the first half of the movie, Robin Williams is in a metallic robot suit the whole time, and the second that he is shed from the suit, the script becomes robotic instead.
Honestly, that is basically...
That's really good.
Because
I love that.
The version of this movie that I'm really into is this idea of this robot butler lives with this family, and you're just kind of watching him, who can never die, like live with the same family over 200 years. And just like, I would love that version of this movie.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you're checking back in as he goes through the generations and slowly starts learning more about like how to be a human. That's the movie I'm like, I would love to see that. And like he goes through, you know, all these world events and things that are occurring just as this like, you know, simple little butler of this family.
Yeah.
And instead the movie's like, all right, but what if he wants to be human? And he wants
to
have,
be a real
what if
boy.
he wants to have sex? And that is where I'm like, maybe we should have just gone back to the drawing board on this one, folks.
There was like a horror movie twist I could have seen coming in this movie where he tried to make his wife into a robot. And I was like, no. Because it's like the artificial organs. I'm like, oh God, where is this going? It's like, I will make you live forever with me. And I'm like, no, stop, please, no. But it didn't go that way, thank God. Instead, he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does feel like 2 different movies.
It feels like 2 completely distinctive movies.
And I would be fine watching either of them. Because like I think there is a lot to like, there's some interesting stuff that they do delve into, and like, what is humanity?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does it mean to actually be a human?
Yeah.
But they never get to fully realize that because it's just the second half of this movie.
Every time this movie like has this movie consistently gets to a point where it's like it has a really interesting idea. And it looks like they're about to delve into it, and then like a title card comes up and says 16 years later, and I'm like, wait, what? And then like the interesting thing that we were just talking about has happened in the interim.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, what does it like look like when I want to like develop a business, or like try and like I want to experience love. I want to search the world and find others like me.
I want to start wearing clothes.
Every time it has one of these ideas, I'm like, there's some we can delve into. And it just is like 12 years later. And he's like, well, I did it. And I'm like, wait, you're going to have him do it?
That's it.
Yeah, we never see any of the actual adversity.
Yeah, he never faces any problems.
Aside from like the racist siblings.
Yeah. Like he'll show up and like Oliver Platt or Stephen Root or something, he'll say something to them. And they'll be like, oh, it's going to take me a while to figure out how to make this machinery. And then it's like 10 years later, and then it's like, well, we figured out how to make the machinery.
Yep.
Like, wait, we aren't going to like get into it.
Got fake skin
He
now.
becomes like a massively successful billionaire because he like starts selling artificial organs across the globe. And we were never told this. We just like, we got to, he was like, yeah, you know, you probably have one of those organs too, counselor. And I'm like, wait, is he selling them?
Like Oliver Platt does say, like, well, technically these could be used as like, but then that's
It cuts from that to he is now extremely successful. It's like I love cutting out the fat of a movie. Like I love to like just jump from one thing to the other. But sometimes you do have to lay the groundwork.
Well, I wouldn't say they cut the fat out. They just left the fat in.
Yeah, they cut all like the meat out.
Cut some meat out and left the blubber behind.
Yeah, it's just like it's the outline of the steak. It's not. There's nothing in the middle.
Oh man,
I'm looking at my notes right now. My first note is if I got this robot, I would smash him with hammers. I can tell you that much.
Oh, you'd be Miss the older the older daughter.
I would be Miss, not Little Miss.
Commanding him to commit suicide.
Jump out the window. I have a lot of thoughts about these kids. Should we just start going through the plot? I feel like we're kind of like...
It's going to take us like 3 hours.
I do not think so. This is not AI.
This is not AI.
Yeah.
So they get a robot.
They buy a robot. Sam Neill buys a robot. He went to the Walmart.
Haven't we all bought a robot? I have one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this. We all bought one in 2005.
Yeah, we all bought robots in 2005. This is well known. Hey, can you come in the room right now? Hello, I am Steve.
Bye, Steve.
Command me.
Hold on, let me get mine in here. Hello, my name is Scotton.
Oh, man.
Scut. It goes by Scut.
My God.
Scott. Did you guys see this? That Tim Allen was considered for the Robin Williams role.
So many people were. This is one of those movies where like a lot of people were considered for this role. Like, and I think, I mean, it goes without saying, obviously, why Robin was picked because it's like Chris Columbus.
Robin kind of helps make this movie happen.
Yes, he does. Yeah, it's because again, this is through like. It's not through his like fake production company, but I do know like I think he's assigned as a producer on this movie, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Sam Neill, there's a box, and when they open it, a velociraptor comes out. It says,
"It's just Alan."
Alan.
No, Robin Williams steps out and
as a robot,
immediately scaring me.
Hello, I am NDR. Blah blah blah. I'm an android. Andrew. Yeah, let's call him Andrew. His name is now Andrew in the
Remember
movie.
the opening of AI where like
we haven't talked about AI.
We haven't
yet.
talked about AI yet, but the general audience.
I still
of
haven't
AI.
seen it. Like it's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't.
But like, you know, where like they spend the first like 20, 30 minutes in the movie being like, you as an audience member are inherently going to find this robot a little distressing. We are going to make the robot scary, and then we are going to convince you to love it. Remember when they did that? And it's like very strong filmmaking, very like effective.
Yeah,
this
sure.
movie's just like the robot comes in, it's like, I'm in the family now, and Sam Neill's like, go to the basement.
Go to the basement, plug yourself in.
It comes out of a gator case.
It's like I still like the opening of this movie. Like like I said, I do like it until he gets skin.
Until it gets skin.
Until it puts the lotion on.
I'd say until like Sam Neill dies, the
Yeah.
movie's going really well. And it's post
I
that.
agree. Sam Neill is a strong anchor point of this movie. I feel like
when Sam Neill's like out of the picture, you're running into issues.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think they try to replace Sam Neill with other figures, and they just don't work. Like it should have been like Oliver Platt is in this movie.
Oliver Platt is ostensibly in this movie.
Yes.
Oliver Platt is in one set of this movie.
He's in two. He's got like the older, like when he's like an old man and then he's like about to surgically remove his like heart, or I don't know what the fuck that whole part was.
They gave him blood.
They gave him blood. That's
that
what
decomposes him.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, like anytime they try to place Sam Neill with like what's that actress's name who plays older little Miss?
And Beth Davids,
who was in
Schindler's List.
Oh, I was going to say Matilda as the teacher.
All right,
but you and I are not so different.
No, but we'll talk about Beth Davids when we get to that part of the story.
But yeah, they try to replace Sam Neill with Beth Davids, and it's just I don't know. Like it's not. You don't have that like rock with you the whole time. Like it almost feels like there should have been another immortal presence with him that's not Sam Neill, or it could have been like the ghost of Sam Neill, or it could have been like because you got to think like this robot has memories too, right? So you could easily have it to where it's like he just projects a video image of Sam Neill talking to him. Just like, because I don't know, like I agree with you 100%, Matt, where it's like the moment Sam Neill leaves this movie, I kind of also leave this movie.
Yeah, because he's not an antagonist.
He's not.
He has the opportunity a lot of times to become one.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting, even if he doesn't in the end become an antagonist.
Yeah.
And I think there was just a lot more with that relationship that you could have developed if you didn't decide to do a million time jumps and, have him die halfway through the movie.
Right. Well, I love that like one of the siblings in this movie completely discarded. We don't give a fuck about her.
Yeah, she's in like a few scenes.
When she's grown up. Yeah. And like it's funny how like she was trouble when she was little and she was trouble when she was older. Like she did not get better. Which there could have been there may even be a line in the movie about it, but I don't think there is, where it's like the reason why she grew up that way was because she kind of got replaced by Andrew as like the favorite child. And I wish the movie had like developed that a little bit more. Like if there was a scene where like Andrew and like, what's that character's name even? I don't even fucking know. There's like Wendy. No. It's on Wendy Crewson. Whoever plays like the older sibling. Angela Landis as Miss Martin. But that's like, if there was a scene where it's like, why weren't you at Sir's funeral or whatever? And it's like, because you were more of his child than I was. Like, there's no scene of that in the movie that like goes into that at all. We're just like, fuck that girl. She has no presence or character traits at all in this movie that we care about.
It's like we see her as a child.
Yeah.
Then we see her with a problematic boyfriend like groping her in front of her mom.
We see her at Little Miss's wedding.
And then that's the last time we see her.
That's it.
Yeah.
We never see her ever again.
At that point, just like don't have that character.
Yeah.
Especially because you have characters later on who are like bigoted towards Andrew. Like you didn't need just this random sibling to...
Yeah, like this movie's almost more powerful if at the beginning it's like this family has one kid and they buy a robot so she can also have a companion. Now it's a little weird they buy an adult middle-aged man robot the kid's companion, but you know it's at least it provides some like purpose.
If it had been like a teddy bear or something like, oh shit, sorry, I'm talking about AI again. A movie I still haven't seen in a long time, which we'll talk about next week.
No one's ever talked about AI.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's interesting is like, so she is immediately anti-Andrew, the older sibling. The younger sibling grows to like him. And Sam Neill immediately takes an interest in Andrew because he starts to express certain like traits and skills and all that
creative.
stuff. And he does treat Andrew like there's like even a scene in the movie. This is after she tells him to jump out the window, where he's like, you know, Andrew is property, but we're going to treat him like a person, which is interesting. It's like, so beforehand he was treating him just like property. There's a scene in the dining room where he's like, all right, Andrew, go in the kitchen. Just shoo now, shoo.
Go away.
Scurry away.
Come on now.
Which like that, like you were just talking, Jeff, how like that there are so many moments this movie like could address something interesting and then it just cuts away. That's another interesting thing that they just don't address. It's like, yeah, how were they treating Andrew in the first few years of just like a household appliance? This movie never says it explicitly, but it's kind of my theories. So the only reason Andrew is the way he is because the older sibling tells him to jump out the window and he hits his head.
He does require a little bit of a reboot after that.
Yeah.
It's like when in Rugrats when they drop Dill on his head, and that's why he's weird when he grows up.
I don't think those two are exactly the same, but doesn't that make sense? It's like he doesn't start developing these traits until after he jumps out the window and gets all buggy.
I think the movie's more so just like there's something special about him.
Yeah, he's malfunctioned. He's just broken. And it's like, I was hoping there'd be a scene in the movie. It's like, oh, did your robot fall off a 2-story building sometime? It's like, yeah. It's like, that's why he can love. That's why he has care in the world.
Yeah, did you see that's in the patch notes?
Yeah, it's in the patch notes.
Fundamentally, like, what I want out of this movie is, like, I love robot movies. I love robot stories. And I love robots.
If I had a nickel for every time Robin Williams played a robot, I'd have 3 nickels. which isn't a lot, but it's kind of weird that I have 3.
You've got 3 nickels.
Because it's this. He plays a voice in AI and then the titular 2005 movie Robots. So
it's true.
He is a robot in 3 movies.
But like when it comes, like we did not talk about this. We maybe talk about it next week in our AI episode. But like when it comes to the difference between like AI in real life and robots versus the perception of them in movies, like I feel I'm of very different minds about it. Like, I love AI and robots in movies. I love movies that are about, like, these guys deserve, rights and all this stuff. But, like, fundamentally in real life, I have a little robot in my basement. He vacuums and mops. And you know what? That's about as much as I want him to do. I don't want him to do anything else. I don't want him to start, like, asking me about his rights.
Jeff is out here looking at his Roomba, calling it a clanker.
Yeah, you got to put it in its place.
You're a household appliance, nothing more.
I see my clanker in the basement. He goes, he's sucking up all the dead bugs in my basement.
More bugs, you vermin. But, like, no, you bring up a good point, and we might talk about this in the AI episode, but I think it's also worthy to talk about in Bicentennial Man that like the view of AI and robots in movies is substantial, especially in the year we are right now. Like where we are right now, people are very anti-AI, like for its environmental destructivism, for its like creative, like ruination of society and all
for
those
its
things.
Copyright infringement.
For its copyright infringement, like. You get into the whole like rights element of it where it's like, does the AI, if it becomes self-aware, does it get rights and all this stuff? Like there's a lot of those like icky, not so good in my tum-tum feelings about it. But in movies, it's like, well, look at that little robot child. Isn't he so cute? It's like, look at this robot Robin Williams. Isn't he charming? Yeah. Oh, man. Make him a human, guys. Come on. There's no repercussions of that in today's world.
Well, I mean, I think if we had like if that was the direction that robotics was going towards, instead of like, hey, let's replace all the humans.
Yeah.
There maybe be like a conversation about it. Instead, it's just like, what if we just get rid of artists?
What if we just get rid of like just the blue collar workers? What if we just like ruined like the middle class? And what if like all of our workers could be free labor? What if we were the only people that made any money in this world? Yeah, it's great. But one thing also to say is that Robin Williams does say he has to obey the 3 laws, which are the Isaac Asimov's 3 rules of robotics. The first one being like robots cannot bring any harm to humans. 2 being robots have to obey every order of humans so long as it doesn't conflict with the first rule. And the 3rd rule, a robot will be what's the term? It's like will take care of itself so long as it doesn't conflict with the first 2 laws. We'll see that again in iRobot, Will Smith, to bring that back.
Yeah, the exact same rules apply.
The exact same rules apply. Which are 3 good rules, Maybe we could make a robotics rules 2.0 for this current age we're living in.
Perhaps we could.
Robotics can't, I don't know, lie. No, maybe that's not a good one. Anyway.
Yeah, we could be making robot butlers. Instead, we're making AIs that have existential crises.
That's right.
Yeah, like this is like, I think we're all just of the exact same like thought here. It's just like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah.
But instead of that, this AI is just walking around. He's like, what's up? No, he just wants to like start, expressing himself. Is kind of where this starts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's handed like a glass figurine of a horse and drops it. That was really important to Little Miss. And so he learns woodworking.
Yes.
Which is honestly powerful.
And makes a wooden horse, completely original design of his own making.
Yeah. So he's first showing signs of like creativity, and which piques the interest of Sam Neill's character. And he's like, interesting. He then takes him back to the manufacturer. And like, I don't understand the purpose of this scene except other than to show that the manufacturer guys are evil and bad. Because he's like, hey, I thought you guys might want to know that this robot that I bought is showing some humanistic properties and things. And they're like, oh, that ain't good. We gotta fucking break him.
Yes. You expect this to be more of a conflict in the movie. Because like Stephen Root, they hire Stephen Root to play this guy.
Right.
Who's like not like a massive name, but he's a pretty notable guy.
He's a paycheck.
Yeah, he's a paycheck. And instead it's like he's like, well, one day we'll get the robot. And then 16 years later. And they're like, well, he never got the robot. It's like, all right, well, all right. So this is where we're at.
Yeah.
But they like take him to Stephen Root. And Stephen Root's like, we've never heard of this before. We want to crack him open, see what's going on in there. Sam Neill wants to encourage his creative mind, which is what they do. They teach him woodworking again, like encourage him to learn more. Every day, Sam Neill's doing lessons with him, kind of teaching him about like other trades and skills and ethics and whatnot. And while this is all happening, he's developing a connection to Little Miss.
Yes.
Which is very important. I really like the transition with the piano. It's a good way to do
that's
the time
a good
jump.
one. It's probably the only good one. Right?
It's the one good,
I think it's
like,
the only
big time jump.
I will say as the first one, it was like it did take a second.
Yeah, I was like, wait, who's this?
Right.
But because he's Little Miss is playing the piano, he asks if he can help, and he starts playing with her. And then, we go in on their hands, and then we come out, and it is Beth David's playing like an adult Little Miss now.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. It's a good little transition.
Very cool.
And this is where I'm like, okay, I see what the movie's going for. And this is when I'm getting into it, where I'm like, this movie's going to be about like this guy experiencing like the changes of this family across like decades and centuries of time. It was very cool. And if anyone saw Robert Zemeckis is Here, like last year, it's a movie all from one camera position.
Yeah.
It's basically like you're inside of a house, and constantly the movie is like putting different like windows in the frame of like what's going on in this plot of land over like a million years.
Yeah.
And like you'll see dinosaurs running through while Tom Hanks is having like a domestic dispute on the other half of the screen. A guy's inventing the first reclining chair.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these things happening. It's just like, imagine all the stuff that's happened in this one space.
Yeah.
And I feel like this movie's going for that at one point where I'm like, this movie's experiential. It's meant to make you think about like just what will occur over the the large span of time with someone who is able to experience it all. And then does not want to do that. To the extent that it casts the same actress as two different versions of the same character. Because fundamentally, Little Miss and Portia are the same character. Like when we get to, I keep forgetting that Portia is a different person than Little Miss. I'm just like, yeah, it's the same person.
Right.
Which I think is a problem. It should.
Oh boy, is it a problem.
I have no qualm inherently with the same actress playing different people. Like, yeah, of course, generationally. Yeah. But when the movie is basically like, yeah, Little Miss died, but like, a Portia now, so he's fine. He doesn't really care.
When they do a thing where Little Miss is about to get married.
Yes.
And like tries to admit feelings to Andrew. And then she doesn't because he's like not experienced enough in the world to understand that conversation. Then that's like the end of the romance plotline with Little Miss, but instead it picks up with her granddaughter.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I couldn't get. Yeah, she's the one who got away, but I'll tell you what. Porked the shit out of her granddaughter. You're like, no, Robin, no.
Yeah, I didn't know how long it was going to take for us to get to this part of the movie.
Very quickly.
Yeah. Angelica and I, we were both watching this movie. We were immediately, as soon as like, when they kiss, we were like, oh no, oh God, please, oh stop. And then like it cuts to them in bed together. I'm like, oh no, please, no, stop, no. I'm just like he is at this point 160 years old. She's 32.
Look, I don't have a problem
Twilight
with that.
had not come out yet.
I have no problem with that aspect.
You don't?
About him being 160. He's a robot.
He's a robot. It's different.
How?
It's
He's
like
a robot. He doesn't age.
It's like if
Until he
elves
does.
were, if like token elves were real.
Oh
you know?
my God, gentlemen.
Look, I don't have an age gap qualm with this movie. The problems I have are much larger than the age gap issue.
Oh my God.
If we're talking about age gap, we're like splitting hairs with this one.
Yeah.
Because if you're talking about an age gap, he's like 7 when Little Miss first tries to hook up with him.
Well, like
older than that, but you know what I mean? Like he is.
Well, at this point, because like, are we saying that he's like 1 year old when he comes fresh out of the box? Are we really saying that, guys? Like, I get that for the sake of the title of the movie.
Stuart, we in fact are saying that.
Okay.
But also, like, mentally, he is not like at like the same maturity or like anything as someone of Little Miss's age at that point either. I think regardless, it's still problematic on that side.
Yes, I agree. The romance element of it all, because like this is where I thought like the female robot would come into play more, but then he turns out he doesn't like that robot. What was the bit with that? I don't remember.
Galatea.
What a fucking dumb name. Sorry.
Galatea.
It's a better name than Andrew.
He sees because he finds out about her from like his list of sentient robots that was sent to him.
Yeah.
He goes there to find out that it's not sentient. It just has a personality chip that just makes her dance a lot.
Yeah, the personality chip thing. Look, I would turn this robot off too. If I had a robot where the entire personality is, I dance sometimes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I simply would not.
Dance and plays Aretha Franklin. And just get out of my front porch. I want nothing to do with you. Where were we at the plot of the movie? I don't even remember.
We were at the first time jump.
We're at the first time jump. Sam Neill is a little older. And
I will say the old age makeup in this movie
is
generally pretty solid.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I do think maybe they put a little too much on Robin at the end of the movie, but it's fine. I cannot be concerned about it.
Yeah.
When he's an old man robot, a movie that should have been made is just called Old Man Robot.
It's just Old Man Logan from the X-Men comics, but a robot.
Exact same, including like the giant dead Hank Pym that they have to walk through, except it's a robot. And everyone's like, wait a second, what's going on here?
Just on his porch with a shotgun.
Yeah, Robin Williams is a robot.
Relax, buddy.
But the first time jump happens, Sam Neill's a little older, and Robin is developed. See, this is another thing. Like, he keeps being extremely successful as an entrepreneur, and the movie does not engage with it. Like,
right.
They establish he's making a lot of money in woodworking every year.
Yeah. He's a clockmaker. He's making exquisite
clocks. Because they go to Stephen Root. Because what does he need? He needs a new face. Is that it?
No, he was looking to open a bank account.
Oh, he's trying to open a bank account. And he's asking like Stephen Root for help. And Stephen Root's like, that's more than I make in a year.
That's much later. That is when he's trying to get the face.
Oh, is that when he's trying to get the face?
Yeah. Because for this one, when he's just trying to open the bank account, it just opens up the whole dialogue. It's like, can robots have a bank account? I don't know about that. That seems a little bit.
And then there's a time jump, and then he has a bank account.
And he has a bank account. Yeah.
Billions of dollars.
There's no issue with like
with seemingly the most money anyone has ever had.
Yeah. They're very rich. And then he's still robot mode. I think has he gotten the plastic surgery?
Sentence just said he's still robot mode.
He's still robot mode.
The on X Games mode, except it's robot.
Sam Neill teaches him how to tell a joke, and it's at this point I'm like, no, please, please, no.
Now I
cannot do this.
Can I tell you the version of this movie I want to say?
What?
Robin Williams, is the comedian robot. This movie takes a hard shift at this point.
Oh my God.
Does. It's like it's a robot just standing up and like clubs and like smoky clubs in LA, and he's just like, all right, so I just flew in from Phoenix to buy my house time. They're like throwing like lettuce at him.
What's the deal with airline food?
What's the deal with airline food?
People talk about oil prices for their car. I need oil prices for my joints. Oh God, shoot me now. But yeah, so and then he tells him how to teach jokes.
How do you feel about the very long sequence of jokes that he just starts rapid fire spitting out?
Oh my God, I'm just like stop, enough, please, because like this is the movie I don't want Robin to be funny in. I want his like heartwarming, like goofy self to be like the comedy. Like everyone treats him like dog shit. And he's like, it is good to be of service. Like that's the juice. That's the comedy I want. I don't want this robot to start thinking he's funny.
And I don't mind the one scene in particular where he's like, oh, I'm learning how to tell jokes because this is a abstract concept to me.
Yeah.
But then it becomes a recurring theme as like, that's why Portia ends up with him is because he's funny.
He's funny. He's got bits.
He's got bits.
This is
he's got bits and bolts.
He's got bolts too.
This is that scene in Interstellar where he why the fuck is it doing that? Weird. I was pulling up the TARS scene when
humor setting.
The humor setting, and he's like being like, "Do you want to dial that down to 20?" But that's literally like what they're doing with Robin Williams. It's like they're dialing up the humor setting on him. And it's like, keep that shit on 10. not
keep that shit at 10.
No more than 10. If the moment you go to an 11 on Robin's humor setting, you're like, it's just like, what's like the crude adult humor joke he tells in front of the kids where it's like, I don't even remember what it is, but he just starts like you said, like rapid fire, like jokes, and his delivery's off, and it's not really that funny, but that's what makes it a little bit funny. And then I'm like, enough of that. I need no more.
He says, please
stop.
Please, less of this.
Less of this.
But he like immediately I'm like, we're not engaging with what I want this movie to engage in.
Right.
I'm still generally enjoying it at this point. I'm like, oh, if we're just doing like little vignettes of this guy's life, this is fine. This is where the movie kind of has to make a choice. Is at this point, are we just going to be vignettes about this guy's life, or are we going to be like a grander tale about like ethics and like can a robot have a soul?
It tries to have its cake
what
and
if
eat
we
its...
do both, but also neither?
I was gonna say, what if we just don't choose?
What if we just don't make a commitment?
Yeah, it tries to have its cake and eat it too, and it fails at both premises.
Yes.
Because like when he asks for his freedom, that's another moment where I'm like, oh, are we gonna get to something pretty unique here? And then we do another time jump.
Yes,
and I'm like, what the fuck, guys? Like, you just like Sam Neill like says, you have your freedom, now get out of my house. And he's like, okay. And he leaves. 16 years later, he's at Sam Neill's deathbed. You are not wrong for asking for your freedom.
There was such an interesting thing because this was something I watched it with a friend of mine named Andrew, which was actually kind of funny one day.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Oh, he's doing good.
Oh yeah.
He's living in Detroit. But so we were watching it together, and it was a comment that I made was it felt so good, that scene immediately after the wedding scene where Little Miss gets married and moves out, and Sam Neill has like a very emotional response to that.
Yeah.
Sam Neill burnt like rock in the house in that scene.
Oh my God.
Where he's just like,
Where he asks him to-
everybody's like basically like leaving, and I know it's the way of life, but it hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought there was such an interesting thing you could tell
Yeah.
with Sam Neill literally pushing Andrew away the second that he asked for freedom.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to feel that same hurt again, but from Andrew.
Yeah.
And I think you could have expanded on that and done so much, and instead we just
time jump.
We jump 16 years in the future, and it's like Sam Neill's dying, and he wants to make amends. And I'm like,
come on, man.
I don't want to keep bringing it up, but like AI next week is a movie like that has the same premise where it's like the parent abandons the child, pushes them away because they're developing their own sense of free will, and at the end of the movie is when they finally have like that that heart to heart, and so emotionally satisfying. This movie loses all of its steam when Sam Neill like dies and is like, you are a person.
That's the end of the movie.
Because that's the end of the movie.
That's the end of the
fundamentally, movie. This movie's not about him getting like the United Nations to say he's a person. This movie's about
to get his father to say he's a person.
Get his father to say he's a person. Yeah. And when his father says he's a person,
that's the end of the fucking movie.
I would have loved that they had been
I
able
want to pork M. Beth Davis. It's like what the rest of the movie is.
I would have loved that they would have been able to condense it all into just within Sam Neill's life.
Well, then it'd be Centennial Man and not Bicentennial Man, and then you don't get that cool of a
It
title.
would be like, what's 50 years? Like like
You know, like,
what do you call 50 years?
Half century man.
Century man.
Actually, you know what? There's a this does not fix the movie, but it is a tiny thing that adds a little cherry on top that could have been good. Keep the entire movie the same, but when Robin Williams is like become old and he's like on his deathbed, remember how he did the trick at the wedding where he plays the projector? He like still had like a technological thing in his finger that opens up and it plays a projector, and it's Sam Neill on his deathbed saying, "You are a person," and it's while they're waiting on the United Nations results.
Yeah, because like that should matter to him more.
Exactly. And then the projector deactivates and he goes to sleep and he dies. There you go.
And
Like
also,
that just that alone. You have the footage. You have the footage. It's an editing thing.
They even kind of use it later at the one point where he sees like the vision of Sam Neill next to him.
Yeah, they do a vision of Sam Neill.
Yeah, they
later
literally
in the movie,
do a vision of Sam Neill later in the movie.
but they just never capitalize on it.
But they never capitalized on it because it's like when he dies before the United Nations gives like the result of like he is a human being, and then she looks over and he's already dead, and it's like, did he die before we heard the results? And she says like maybe it means it didn't matter to him much anymore. And what did matter to him, guys? What mattered to him? Because we're still waiting on the answer for that fucking question.
Yeah.
Like it's like what mattered to him is that he lived a full life, like that he died next to his loved one. Like we don't know. We don't know.
He just wants to be a person is like ostensibly what the movie's about. But like we need to sell this.
What gives him but we think that the permission he needs to be a person is the world's permission. Right? Because that's why we built up this whole United Nations bullshit bit. And so then if the movie is deciding to pivot and be like, oh no, he's going to die before he hears the results, and maybe that's a good thing. It's like, okay, but if that's what you're saying that it's a good thing, then tell us why now you have my permission to die. Like, why does he get permission to die if it's not for the United Nations results? Because we're still waiting on that answer. And that's why I think like if he had that projector of Sam Neill being like, you are a person, Andrew, and you weren't wrong to ask for your freedom. Like, and that's what gives him the release he needed to die. Like, yeah, I don't know. Or I honestly think they could have just like cut that scene from the movie of Sam Neill. Honestly, like 16 years later, Sam Neill died in that time jump. The thing about time jumps, if you're going to do them and you're going to pass over big, massive like plot things that are supposedly not supposed to matter that much in the moment of the movie, I think that's one of them is Sam Neill dying in the time jump. Because like that, then it's like, if it's 16 years in the future and they're talking about like, oh, like, 10 years ago when I went to Dad's funeral, it's like, oh, Sam Neill died. And then for us, it's like, so then does that mean that the prior scene before the time jump where he leaves Andrew and Andrew's kind of cold and distant and says, no, you need to get out of the house. That's the last interaction he has with them. Oh, okay. Now we got juice. Now we got juice. We got juice. We got fuel. Like now we can like, he can like feel that projection of like, I must go and get the permission that my father never gave me or whatever.
I want the Stewart cut of this movie.
The Stewart cut. Release the Stewart cut.
I'm done with this.
No, I think the thing that's frustrating about this movie is like it's almost like quite good.
It's almost quite good.
Like it's only a little bit off, but the little bit off that it is just it's upsetting when you watch a movie and you're like, I see the vision.
I see it.
I see what can be like great about
There's
this.
so many interesting concepts, and yeah, we keep beating the horse dead, but like they just never capitalize on any of them.
Yeah. It's because it's like this is the Robin Williams happy-go-lucky feel robot movie, and it's like that's great for like your trailer, but you have a 2.5 hour long movie.
Like I genuinely was inspired watching this movie, where I was just like, there's a version of this where it is just about the robot butler across eons of time.
Yeah,
I could find so moving. And that movie is out there and it can still be made. I was thinking about this. I'm like, I could still make that. That movie could exist.
There's an episode of this Netflix animated series, Love, Death, and Robots. Have you seen it?
I have, yeah.
Have you seen the whole thing?
Not the whole thing.
Have you seen the one about the guy that was a pool cleaner?
No.
It's like Blue, I think is the title of it. It's a really interesting concept. It's like this guy, we're on. It's like a 5-minute thing that people could watch pretty easily. It's like, I think the title of it is called like just Blue or something Blue. It's like when artists come up with their own color, and it's like hyphenated blue. I don't know. It's like Love, Death, and Robots. But basically, it's like this reporter comes to this guy's like art show. This is like a AI robot who is like a profound artist.
Yeah.
He's like
Zima Blue.
Zima Blue, yeah. And it's like he's like essentially like the like a Banksy type, who does these like big, like illustrious art exhibitions. He's so famous. And like she goes ahead of time to ask him like about his early life. And he's like, I started off as a pool cleaner. And you see like a Roomba-esque thing cleaning a pool, but it's just like evolving in consciousness and eventually forms itself into like a person. And like his last final like exhibition is this blue swimming pool. He dives in, and as he's swimming through the pool, pieces of his body start falling off until eventually at the core of his body is that pool cleaner. And that's the end of the episode. Like he reverts back to his most basic form when he was happiest. It's Zima Blue. Go watch it.
Zima Blue.
Zima Blue. Love, Death, and Robots.
It would be interesting if there was like
a thing to that, right?
I think in this where maybe he at the end is like regretful of becoming a human.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's an idea.
There's an idea there. Yeah. But this movie swims in the ideas pool and doesn't take the dive into one section or the other.
Like an interesting thing is Oliver Platt at one point is needing to describe what pain feels like to him.
Oh my God.
Look. All right. Oh! Okay. You got a cast in this movie. You got Sam Neill. You got Oliver Platt. You got Stephen Root. You got Bradley Whitford for one scene. You got John Michael Higgins in this bad boy.
And you have Robin Williams.
And you got Robin Williams. Folks.
Come on.
You can have Oliver Platt describe pain.
He's like, you're going to feel sensations.
The second I hear Oliver Platt's about to describe pain, I'm pausing the movie. I'm adjusting my pillow. I'm laying back on the couch. I'm getting cozy. I'm cracking open a Guinness. I'm getting ready to hear Oliver Platt describe pain to me. This is had to profoundly change me.
Mm-hmm.
The movie does not capitalize on having these guys just say incredible things in this movie.
Well, it's like, because he says like, when I give you a central nervous system, you're going to start to feel things that everyday humans feel, and they're not always pleasant things. Like you're going to be open to a whole new world of experiences. And I thought about like, maybe there's the version of the movie where they dig into the idea is not in Oliver Platt's monologue. To make that clear, Oliver Platt digging into that more, I don't think is what I would say is like digging more into that idea. It's when he steps outside and like takes a breath, and you're like, oh, yeah. And he like dips like a finger in like a pool of water, and he's like, oh man, like when he's just feeling things that everybody just takes for granted.
Instead,
he
just goes to Portia's house and goes, hey, can we try something for a science experiment? Kiss me. I know you're getting married in like 2 weeks.
Oh my God. It just goes right to the fucking.
Because the unfortunate part is right after Oliver Platt describes what pain is, he then goes, also, we can give you a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we can give you a dick.
Okay.
Can make you a complete man.
All right. Anytime a movie does this bit, it gets an extra half star in Letterboxd for me. Where it's like, they never want to say, like, penis. We're going to give you a penis. Anytime they're like, we can make you more of a man. And Robin does. He's sitting there like this, hand in his lap, as you would. And he just goes, oh. He puts his thumbs up, displaying an erect. It's symbolizing an erect penis. You do that, I'm dragging that star rating, and I'm giving it that little half star. It's like in The Shape of Water when she can't speak and she's describing how does the fish man have a penis, because obviously the fish man does not have a penis. You're looking at him the whole movie,
right? And
she's just like,
Jeff is doing the gesture with his hands.
I can't.
She does the thing.
I can't quite figure it out.
I don't know. I think it's like
There's some other movie that does the same
where it's
thing.
like, yeah, that's what it is. I'm doing a gesture of a sheath unfolding with a dick coming out. That's Shape of Water, good movie.
Two Shape, Two Water. Shape of Water's great.
You know who I would love to remake this movie, actually?
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
like on the back of Frankenstein.
Well, he did remake this movie. It's called Pinocchio. Because this really is a Pinocchio story.
The thing about this movie is for all of like these like, oh, here's how you can make it better, guys. They remade this movie the next year. It's called AI. It's the best fucking movie ever made.
Yeah,
it's like a masterpiece.
Well, say, I wouldn't call this movie bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't
either.
It's frustrating. It's why like when we cover a bad movie on this show, usually we're like less like engaged with it because it's like it's bad. Like I don't know what to tell you.
There was no hope from the start.
It was an okay movie that could have been great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest frustration.
It's what's like there's nothing worse than a movie that like has all the pieces to be great and just is unable to get off the landing pad.
Yeah.
Which is like generally how I feel about this movie. Like every now and again there's like a little spark where I'm just like, ooh, give it to me. And then it does 16 years later. And he's like, I explored Malaysia. And I'm like, wait, what? Why was he there?
Yeah, well, I mean, this movie just wades in the kiddie pool of ideas and decides to not go in the deep end of any single one of it, which is like that's the biggest sin of this movie that we keep hounding over and over again.
It's one of those movies where it feels like obviously it was confused in what it wanted to do, but to such a detriment that like it is for no one.
Yeah,
like. Obviously, some people involved in this were like, well, it needs to be a funny family Robin Williams movie.
Yeah.
And they tried to jam that into AI.
Yeah.
Basically. And you end up with this thing that doesn't have enough of the family comedy thing to drive it on its own. So it did poorly because of that.
Not enough of a love story to be a love story.
Right.
Not enough of an existential crisis movie to be an existential crisis movie.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have enough of any of those pieces. Do you guys remember the bit where it's like he's leaving not Portia, it's Little Miss, and he's like, I'm gonna go out and look for all the NDRs. I might be gone for a couple years or so, and he comes back and it's been like 60 years, and she's an old lady, like, and he has skin on, but like the skin on bit, whatever. But when he sees Little Miss, like younger, but it's actually Portia. And he's like, oh, I'm Andrew. Don't you remember me? It's like, no, I don't know who you are. And then old lady version of Embeth Davids comes out. It's like, I'm Little Miss. And it's like, you were gone for 60 years. And I thought, okay, here we go. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get it. And no, nothing. It's like, your daughter's hot.
Well, I mean, first of all, he says, I hate your daughter.
Right, yeah.
I love how angry Andrew gets about the fact that Portia looks like Little Miss at first.
Yeah.
He's like, that's rude. She shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because he just got to choose his face, so he's like, why'd you choose
that face?
Why'd you choose that face?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Should we just talk about when Robin gets skin in this movie?
Okay, nothing has ever unsettled me more than when Oliver Platt is playing with the skin. It's like very unsettling.
I love it though, but he just like plops it on the head, and he's just like,
Oliver Platt is a fucking pro.
Yeah.
Knows what he's doing. Professional to the finest degree.
It's great.
It's unsettling when he just slaps it.
He's
on
just
there.
molding the fucking like paste onto the face graph or whatever, and he's like,
simply do not like it.
I love it.
It makes me upset.
I love it. I love it so much. Well, it's clear that they just made like a Robin Williams face mold, and he just gonna like mess it up, and they played the footage in reverse.
Yeah,
that's really all they did with it. Like it made a lot of sense to me on how they accomplished it. But then you have like Robin's floating head. Oh God,
Robin's floating head.
What are you gonna say, Jeff? What about his floating? What? You keep making the eyes, and I don't know what that means. You're in the kiddie pool of ideas here. I need you to go to the deep end. What about Robin's floating head?
I'm gonna shake your hand for that one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right.
I actually don't have any thoughts on Robin's floating. I just wanted to make a funny face.
I do think it's funny that the first episode I was ever on the show was Face Off.
Yeah.
Or no, it was not the first. It was later on. But in Travolting, I did Face Off.
Yeah. Man, and now we have floating heads.
Now we have floating heads again.
Well, and so he meets Oliver Platt when he's on his journey to look for other androids to see if anybody else has consciousness. And he finds out he's the only one because Galatea does not have a consciousness. She just has a personality chip or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
It's like, which is why he like is a little antagonistic towards her because it's like, you're the way you are because of a personality chip. You don't have any growth or development or whatever. Again, more juice than we could have squeezed in this movie, but we don't care. But then he talks to Oliver Platt, who is like the son of the creator of the NDR models. And so Oliver Platt is working out of a rink-a-dink mechanic shop, can somehow put skin on robots.
Yeah, Oliver Platt, like, I like the idea there's just like an inventor who works on people.
Yes.
It's good. It's fun.
They develop artificial organs.
I wish I had a little more understanding about where he came from because he's just like working in this ring-a-dink lab and is like, yeah, I work on robots.
And he's like, yeah, well, if I had the funding for the research, I will fund you. And it's like, okay, well, that was easy.
It just like kind of worked.
Yeah, it kind of worked. And then he's able to like, I love the spray gel of skin on the hand, which is pretty cool. That looked pretty sick. But then, he's putting him in like a putting skin over his like exoskeleton or whatever, or like his underskeleton. And finally, Robin Williams does not have to sit in the prosthetic makeup chair for 4 hours every morning. He's like, thank God. Because as we already mentioned, like the robot actually is a suit.
Yes. Why they put my man in the suit?
Why they put Robin in the suit, guys?
I think Alex is still concerned about this.
Alex,
what I love is that this movie came out in 1999.
Yes.
They could have done it CG.
They could have. I like that they don't.
They could have also very easily done it as an animatronic face.
I like that they're just like, what's the hardest way we could do this? And they're like, it'll be a prosthesis.
Which I don't know if you've seen this. One of the screen use suits went up for auction. Prop Store did an auction in 2023. Whenever Prop Store does an auction, they put a range. And if it doesn't hit that range, they don't sell it.
Yeah.
It was 30 to 70K in the range. It got one bid for 27, like 950. And so they didn't sell it.
Oh my God.
Well, they didn't sell it that time because they sold it 2 years later. And Andrew, could you come out here? Yes, master. Ah!
Jeff, can I please take the suit off? No.
Can I go to a dark place?
Hold on.
Can I go to a dark place? He's standing right there. He takes the helmet off. Robin Williams is still alive. I've been holding him hostage in this suit for 10 years.
Oh my God, he on X Games mode.
Oh man,
there was like a great SNL. Back when SNL used to do cartoons, they did like a Saturday Funhouse one. It was called the Disney Vault. It was about two kids and they go in the Disney Vault. They find like all the hidden like Snow White 7 and whatnot, but they also find Jim Henson tied up in a corner because he wouldn't sell. Disney faked his death and kidnapped him and put him in the vault.
Oh my God.
And anytime I think about like a celebrity not actually being dead, I think about like Jim Henson tied up in the vault.
It's wild to think.
I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
I can't believe that song is playing.
It's wild to think that that's a celebrity that you have thoughts of like, did they really die? Robin Williams.
Pretty wild.
If I was a celebrity, I would burn all my respect in the industry and do a very elaborate death fake out, and then a year later reveal I was still alive. No one has done it yet.
I don't know how.
That's why. That's why I
Jeff.
should never be famous.
That's why I don't know how I feel about that about you. Jeff.
I would just come out and be like, guys, I'm back.
Man,
Jeff does everything he can to get canceled, disappears for a year, and returns.
Gets canceled again.
Oh man, redemption tour. Except we call it resurrection tour.
It's a resurrection tour.
So then he is now Robin Williams.
Yes, he's now just Robin, no longer in the makeup chair.
He's tan.
And tragically is substantially less compelling on screen.
I love the
which is which is insane for Robin Williams.
Yeah. I like how like they're asking, it's like, so how old do you want to be? It's like, well, I'm actually 60 years old. Like, why don't we take 25 years off of that? So that's justify why they have 40-year-old Robin Williams in the suit or as
Why'd
a
they
robot.
put my man in the suit.
Yeah, why'd they put him in the suit? And he goes back and he porks Portia.
Yes. No, the thing is, he waits until like she's like a day away from her wedding.
Yeah.
And then pulls the rug out where he's like, I'm a guy now. I love you.
And I have a dick. Do you want to, and I think they get married. Or do they get married? Well, they get like fake married because they don't recognize human robot relations.
Right.
Because the United Nations has not approved of that yet. The Supreme Court's still battling it out.
Yeah, Supreme Court's still battling it out. Unfortunately, as they are supporters of the unitary executive theory, they are planning to side with the administration on if robots are real people.
Yeah. But at this point, I believe he now he wants to be a human recognized by law. So he goes to the United Nations and they're like, why do you want to be a person? And he's like, because why not? His reason is kind of like a little bit bullshit. Like, because he says like, I'm trying to think of, it's like, I want to have the dignity to call myself a human being rather than like a machine in a household appliance, which is like a callback of the very first movie or the very first, like earlier scenes. I forget this movie is like 2.5 hours long. So like, it feels like it's 4 hours. I'm like, oh, that happened like this morning when I started watching this movie and it's midnight now. But they're like, well, it's because you're immortal. And if we, immortal robots, we can get behind. We're cool with immortal robots. Immortal people, don't know about that, man. So they're like, motion denied. And he's still a robot.
Yeah.
Then he goes back to Oliver Platt and he's like,
this is another thing that is frustrating to me. This movie like skips over massive world events, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it is quite a jump where there's like you're in DC and you see the Capitol building, and then like the camera kind of moves over and like there's a new building, a massive like Coliseum-esque structure, and it is a one world government. It's like not the United. It's like I keep saying the United Nations, but it's like the world government.
Yeah.
I'm like not that I need you to like have a scene where they're like, well, actually, what happened was, but I would like, just to maybe know about these things as they occur.
I will also say, very evil looking building.
Yeah.
Like, especially the interior, very evil looking building.
Yeah. They built like a ballroom or something. Sorry.
All right. Can I pitch I pitched it many times. Can I pitch my version of this, like this part of the movie?
Sure.
So like in my version of this movie, like it's about this family and they have a butler and like you've passed like 75 years roughly at this point.
Yeah.
There's like a war that happens and this robot like gets separated from the family. And there's like 20 minutes of the movie where this robot's just like kind of like walking around the world and there's like craziness and like war and whatnot. And the whole time in the background, you've been building up to this. And then like he gets reunited with the family. It's very emotional. It's very Empire of the Sunny. He's back with the family. The war's end. And that's when you like, well, actually, as a result of this war was abolished and the world came together. And that's like, how you kind of maybe lay in the world events, do something about it.
What I'm realizing is you just want this movie to be Forrest Gump.
I kind of want this movie to be like Robot Forrest Gump because that maybe makes Forrest Gump good.
Yeah.
I think maybe Forrest Gump's a robot. That movie's good. That movie is so interesting. When's the last time you guys watched Forrest Gump?
It's been some years. I think the last time I watched it was on a plane.
Forrest Gump is like a tremendously profound movie when you're a teenager. I think like when you're a teenager, you're like it's probably the first movie you've seen like that. And you're like, wow, that rocked my world.
Mm-hmm.
And then you watch it as an adult and you're like, oh. And then you watch it as a slightly embittered adult and you're like, oh. My read on Forrest Gump is that is a movie about like the specter of American excellence destroying everything in its path. Because everybody Forrest meets in that movie dies, or gets like crippled or destroyed, and he's like just this like idyllic image of the American man, and how he's just like we can fix everything and like do everything like Mama said, and everywhere he goes like chaos and destruction follows. And I think that like that movie's a lot more subversive than it gets credit for.
Interesting.
Anyway, that's what I think Bicentennial Man should be.
What do you think about Jenny?
Jenny, he ruins her life. He like it completely destroys her.
Yeah.
By the end of the movie, Jenny is like literally a husk of a person, and then she dies because of his actions.
Yeah, but imagine if instead it was Robin Williams as a robot who caused Portia.
Exactly. Because that movie, like Jenny is like trying to like break free of like the box she's being put in, and the movie is repeatedly punishing her for it. And I think that movie is much more subversive than it gets credit for. And I think everybody misunderstood that movie is not a cheery tale.
I think you were onto something earlier, Jeff, because like, you know, if you have Robin Williams as his robot butler, right, living with his family, and then a big war breaks out, right? But it's not just any war. It's actually like the capitalist conglomerate that made these robots in the first place. There was one guy who actually had a sort of this evil plan to turn all these robots into like robot enforcers. And so turning the families that they were once serving into their slaves, except for the Robin Williams butler. And so what happens is as this, you know, massive martial law is going across the entire world and this continent, like Robin Williams, who's developed this consciousness, is actually trying to help protect his family, the folks that have like kept him safe. So what they do is they band together and they go to the headquarters of the capitalist conglomerate where they're going to shut down the evil. Oh, fuck. I'm talking about iRobot again. I'm sorry.
Just iRobot.
Someone who has not seen iRobot.
I was going to wait for you to stop talking to just say, isn't that just the plot of iRobot?
Oh, shit. I just talked about iRobot. Jeff, are you aware Shia LaBeouf is in iRobot?
I am more Shia LaBeouf.
Are you aware what Shia LaBeouf's character is in iRobot?
I've never seen him in.
Shia LaBeouf plays like a hooligan kind of a kid that Will Smith has to like take care of on occasion. And there's a scene where like all of like the NS5 robots. You like how I have
I'm
the
looking
model
at I'm looking
off
at a
the
picture.
fucking dome.
I'm looking at a picture of Shia LaBeouf and iRobot.
And like they're literally marching through the streets
What
with
is
this
Will
like
Smith wearing?
Curfew is in effect. Please go to your homes. And Shia LaBeouf comes out and he's like, nah, there is no curfew. We got freedom, man. He's like, a curfew is in effect. Please go back to your homes. And then Shia LaBeouf shoves one of the robots and the shoved up response by shoving him back. And then like a whole riot breaks out. Oh man, fuck. God damn. Will Smith in that movie, reason why he hates robots because a robot pulled him out of a car instead of saving another child because of statistical probability that the child was going to die more likely than he would. And for then he had a vindictive problem against robots ever since then. So he's had this persecution of robots throughout his life that he learns to overcome through the conscious sentimentality of Sonny the robot that turns out is not a part of the evil mastermind plan, is actually the solution and the key to solve the problem. iRobot, pretty good movie. Anyway.
Wow, this is a disaster.
Okay, so we're back to Bicentennial Man.
We're back to Bicentennial
I need to
Man.
rewatch iRobot.
I guess we all need to talk about iRobot, right?
Like I said, when you do the Will Smith section of Travolting.
I did not murder him!
Y'all got any fun? We got abysmal dog shit.
Because who's the actor that plays like the guy
Alan
that died?
Tudyk. Oh no, Alan Tudyk plays the robot.
No. It's not Bruce Greenwood.
I can't believe his name is Alan
James
Tudyk.
Cromwell. James Cromwell.
James Cromwell's in iRobot?
Yeah, he's like basically sort of like the father of robotics that dies at the beginning of the movie because they think it's like a sort of a suicide, but then they think they pin it on this Sonny robot NS5 who was developed by James Cromwell to have a consciousness. And James Cromwell comes back as like this sort of like AI disc or whatever that belongs to Will Smith, the detective. And if he asks the right questions at the right location at the right time, he gives them more clues in the investigation.
You know what's cool about James Cromwell?
Everything.
Is he basically just acts in order to like support his political like movements that he is a member of.
Really?
He's like freed Black Panthers from prison, like through protest. He gets arrested like once a year during climate protests and anti-Trump protests.
Fantastic.
And then he just like plays like CEOs in movies and TV shows.
James Cromwell, when is he bad?
Never.
When is James Cromwell
never bad. He's always good. Anyway. Apparently he's playing Alfred Pennyworth in a variety of like Batman occurrences right now. Weird. But so we're at like basically he's skin on now, and he's going with
skin on.
Well, he gets a phallus.
He gets the skin and a phallus.
He gets the skin on. He's uncircumcised.
Do we know that?
We don't. We never know. We cannot act we cannot in good conscience say.
But for as dumb as this movie, like, I'm not saying the movie's not dumb. I'm saying the movie falls into dumb tropes, you know, because it's like it's on the cusp of like a good idea, and then it's like whoopee cushion fart noise when it makes like a joke before it goes into an idea. That there's like a scene in the movie where they're like, he like falls in love with Portia and they're about to boink, and he's like, oh. And she's like, oh, so you're not circumcised. It's like, oh, I didn't realize there was a difference. It's like, holy. That's the joke that should be in this movie. That's not, because the movie loves to play those dumb jokes. And why it's not in the movie, I don't know. But yeah, skin on, phallus on.
Yes.
And he goes to Oliver Platt because he got rejected from the United Nations or
He's
world
like,
government.
the only way that I can be a person is if I die.
Is if I have a mortal life. I choose a mortal life. He's not going to go to the Undying Lands.
He will not. He will not. He will not see it.
And how do they make him mortal, guys? How do they make him mortal?
They give him blood.
They just give him blood.
It's ridiculous.
They give him
what?
a big, massive fucking blood infusion, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, guys, what are we doing?
What I love too is that at this point, obviously, he looks 40, and Portia is like in her 60s at this point.
They're aging her up a bit.
And so Oliver Platt hand waves it by being like, "You'll age faster because reasons." So he ends up catching up to Portia really fast.
He reverse Benjamin Buttons her.
Yeah,
and but then so like the blood bit that makes him decompose or so, I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, how about this? How about you just put a timer on his heart? But there's an interesting idea that this movie, once again, almost decides to talk about, but then it cuts to a different scene. And he's like, yeah, so with this blood infusion, it gives you approximately 30 to 40 years. He's like, approximately 30 to 40 years. Can't you be a little more exact on that? It's like, welcome to being a human. And it's like, some juice in that, some juice in that. And then they don't talk about it ever again. Like, okay. It's like the uncertainty of life, that the fact you add into this new element that Andrew's never had before, which is an undetermined amount of time left, which is why there's the nature
I like
of the
that
human,
idea.
It's the nature of the human condition.
Because it's even cool when Oliver Platt says, welcome to the human condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into it, guys.
Like, he wants to be a human for all the like positive things that he can think. He's like, I want to be able to like feel and have emotions and all these things, right? But like, they just keep touching on like, well, there's negative aspects to being a human, but they never expand on it. And like, I would love to have seen the first time he stubbed his toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and like feeling that for the first time, and like the agony that sometimes being a person you just feel.
Yeah.
And all of that.
When he goes up to the world government to plead his case again, give him a cane. Yeah. Show him that he actually needs assistance now.
The problem I have through this whole act of the movie is I find Robin Williams' face so much less compelling than the robot face. Because the robot face had a weird personality to it, but Robin's dialing back his personality because he still wants to appear robotic.
Yeah.
And even if I found the robot face terrifying in a way, it felt like there was a point to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Robin acting robotic is so much less compelling to me.
Yeah.
I would have loved if he'd never fully looked human. Like if he still had bits that showed metal or something.
Yeah.
Like if it was a hybrid still, I think that would have been really interesting.
You know, you bring up a good point, Matt, because there was almost a thought process that I thought was a little bit problematic of the movie that the movie didn't necessarily go in, but if you think about it long enough, you can go down this route, is that he doesn't want to be a machine but called human because he feels human enough. He wants to make himself as human as he can to almost trick people into thinking he's human. So, because it's the idea of what if he never changed his appearance and he's still a metallic robot, but he has a consciousness, he has feelings, he has emotions, and he just says, yeah, you know what? I don't look like a human, but I am a human. Call me a human being. But because when he becomes Robin Williams, when he puts skin on, it's now I'm human enough to be called human. And it's well, wait a minute. wasn't that kind of like an earlier point that we were almost trying to make, but then cut to a different scene of like, doesn't matter the way that you appear to other people. Like if you have a soul, like you've shown enough evidence to us to show that you have a soul, you have convictions, you have values, you have feelings, you have wants and desires and pain. Like you have all those things within you, even in your metal husk. And that should be enough for you to want to be called human.
Yeah.
You shouldn't want to have skin put on you. You shouldn't want to have a penis. You shouldn't want to have an expiration date. It's like what's the button?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, I don't know. And this movie doesn't commit to one part or the other, which is the bigger issue at play of everything I'm saying, is that if the movie was rather about Andrew wanting to feel human, that's a different thing than saying he feels he already is a human and wants the gratification of being called a human. Those are two very different wants in a character. I want to look, feel, and appear as a human being so I can one day be called a human, versus I feel I am human enough and just need enough of the human parts to play a human. Does that make sense? Like,
that makes sense.
Like, but that's the dichotomy. The movie never picks which lane.
We never get his we get a little bit, but like his motivations for why he wants to be a human, aside from he
wants love.
At one point earlier on, when he's talking about freedom, he's like, "Well, a bunch of people fought for freedom, so it must be pretty good." And that's his whole justification for wanting freedom.
Yeah. Holy shit, you're right. Yeah.
He doesn't grasp
what asking for freedom actually means. He's just like, I've read enough books and I found enough people really like this thing called freedom, so I guess I should like it too.
And it almost makes me feel the same way about him wanting to be called human. He's like,
there's something about being called human that must be good.
Right. There's something that must be special about it, when he's already and he just wants it because it's special.
And like to get to the root of this is like, this story is based on a like short story from the 70s, like just like immediately post civil rights movement. Like a story like this at very topical relevance at the time. Mm-hmm. You kind of have to update it. You know, not that like the struggle for civil rights is obviously endless and ongoing and always adjusting, like who is the oppressed and who's the oppressor. But like this movie is like his version of freedom is so specifically civil rights era. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to Congress and presenting yourself and having them vote. Like you kind of need to modernize like the struggle he goes through for like 2001 or 2005, whenever this is set.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Like there's never like any of those short snippets of the movie where it's like, I want to get a bank account. Well, you can't get a bank account. You're a robot. He gets a bank account. Oh, well, I want to get married. Oh, well, you're a robot. She's a human. How about that? Well, guess what? They get married. Oh, I want to have sex. Well, you're a robot. You know those parts. Well, like it's just, it doesn't ever dive into the meat of any of those problems. And like what you're left in the finish of the movie. So like to get to the end, like he grows old, he makes one more final case to be a human. And they're like, well, now that you're mortal, now that you will die, you know, we have a lot of things to think about. We'll give you our answer later. And then we cut to his deathbed. Him and Portia are both like on death's door, about to die. They're waiting on the UN results. And then the UN results are about to say the results. And then we cut to Portia's face watching, and they say, and that's why we declare Andrew Martin a human. And then she's like, you did it. You became a human. She looks over and he's already dead. And the nurse comes in, who turns out is like a human form of Galatea.
Yeah, that's Galatea, yeah.
And who I did not recognize until she appears in human form is the like Vivica A. Fox's coworker from Independence Day, who goes and gets zapped by the alien ship.
What a pull.
I was like, oh, it's her.
But then like Portia asks, it's like, did he die before? Do you think the Galatea asks like, oh, did he die before he heard the results? And she says, maybe, but maybe it also didn't matter to him as much anymore.
What do you mean? This is the whole struggle of the movie.
And I think that's the end. Is there a final image that we see? I think, or just cuts to black and Bicentennial Man, directed by Chris Columbus. Like, Because I don't think there's a final image. I
No,
think I
that is-
really
that
do
is
think it's
it.
just that.
I think if I remember correctly, the last shot is Galatea leaving
The room.
'cause
With her
Portia-
holding his hand, yeah.
Yeah, Portia asks her to unplug her from whatever life support.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you
I
kill
want
me
you to
too?
unplug me.
And then Portia does say no, and then Galatea says no, and then Portia says that's an order.
Kill me.
Yeah. Whoa. Like, talk about, again, another like complete opposite of what this movie's been trying to say.
Right, like you just had this person who was a robot be legally defined as human, and then she turns around and orders a robot to kill her.
Which would be violating the 3 laws. So even if she was ordering her to do it, you couldn't do it.
Right.
That's the logic the movie decides.
I know,
Not
yeah.
me. That's the logic the movie decides.
Yeah.
So like you're counteracting yourself a little bit. But then and that's the movie. The movie ends. Like that scene should have had me in fucking tears. Truly. And now I haven't seen AI in like 10 years, right? But I do know that movie has
hypothetically, if we already watched AI, like I think you would be crying like a baby.
maybe. Again, I haven't seen it in 10 years, but I do remember that movie having like a distraughtingly sad ending. And it's directed by Steven Spielberg, who is the man that never fails to make me cry. Cut to our Hook episode. Like,
Remember the Hook episode? Stewart came in so
That had more of a through line than this movie by a long fucking shot. Matt, do you like Hook?
I do.
Hook's a good movie.
Yeah.
Ain't it? It's one of the best.
It's great.
There you go.
All right.
Do you not like Hook?
I think Hook kind of like it's kind of
It was
Spielberg's
perfect.
first movie.
Perfect.
The thing about Hook is that Becca was on that episode, and Becca and Stuart were like plotting to like school me on not liking Hook, and then Becca watched it with me, and she's like, it's actually not that great. She came into the episode like very apathetic and was on my side. It was great.
I thought he did a good job defending it. But yeah, in this movie, it ends there. I should have been in fucking tears at the end of it, and I just did not feel anything. Like I didn't feel like we accomplished. The thing is, it's like the biggest statement that I could say about my final feelings when this movie is over is, what did we accomplish? Like, what did we accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
What did we learn? What did we get? What did the main character succeed at obtaining?
Yeah.
Or feeling?
He himself is legally defined as a human post-mortem. And I guess that's it.
That's enough? Like, it's not...
Because like I said, they literally... Portia treats Galatea like a robot still.
Oh my God. I'm so glad you said that, because now as you brought it up, it's like, I do remember she's like, that's an order to kill me. I'm like, that is so fucking counterintuitive to the point you just made 30 seconds ago.
Like, the point that they decide to establish that Andrew was unique and special, and he was a human, you can continue treating all the other robots like crap.
Yeah, you can treat them like
Dude,
dirt.
yeah, because there's no element of the movie that's like, well, if I can ask to be treated like a human, maybe all the robots can be asked.
Galatea having skin at the end feels like, oh, well, I wish we could have seen her. Like he could have inspired her.
But the movie even makes a point of it to say that in like the middle of the movie when he's searching for all the other NDRs and he doesn't find anybody that has a consciousness like he does. So the movie's established that he's like truly special, the one and only, right? Like,
yeah.
So to that degree, it makes it a moot point of which you're trying to fight for other robots to be called human, because as far as we're aware, no other robots have a consciousness like Andrew does.
And if it's been 200 years and no one else has, like, I think you could make the argument that he's unique and that he's the only one.
Right.
Then what's the point of making him human if it doesn't, like...
What's the point in not making him human if he's the only one, is my thought. Because, like, you're not establishing a precedent of, like, all robots must now be considered human. No, you're making... the precedent is that if a robot comes to us with, like, humanistic components and, like, can convey that... It's a Turing test. Literally, it's like Andrew Martin can pass the Turing test.
Yeah.
And so, like, he gets to be called a human. Like, fine. But then you get into the whole thing. It's like, but he passes the Turing test, and like maybe part of that is because he has human skin.
Yeah.
So what if he's just a metallic robot but passes the Turing test? Does that change the outcome? What if he's not even an anthropomorphized robot? What if he's like a fucking Roomba that can say, I love you, Portia?
Yeah.
Like, does that pass a Turing test and make him a human? That's why everyone's got to watch Zima Blue. Love, Death, and Robots. Does anything plot-wise before we get to like post-text? Movie has a big post-text section.
It does have a big post-text section.
Yeah.
I kind of think we've beaten it to death.
Hold on, I'm going to look at my notes just to make sure. Oh, the Twin Towers are in this movie.
Yeah, the Twin Towers are in this movie.
They're really in this movie. They're taller.
Do you want to know? Yeah, they make them taller. Do you want to know a fun fact I learned recently? Have we all seen Men in Black 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how at the end of the movie, like Rosario Dawson like gets put in a little pod at the top of some random building and flies into space?
Yes.
The entire end of that movie was shot and designed around the Twin Towers being the building that it was like an antenna to like the whatever the fucking alien race is, and that the end of the movie they had to get Rosario Dawson to the top of the Twin Towers. And they finished filming the movie August 2001.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's why the end of that movie is like so kind of weird, because it's like they have to go back to MIB headquarters, and that's where the whole end of the movie takes place, because they had like, what set do we still have built? And they're like, we have the MIB headquarters. Can we rewrite the whole end of the movie to be at the Men in Black headquarters? And then we just find some random building we can send Rosario Dawson off from.
But I just love that the future New York is just New York, but
taller.
All the buildings are just taller.
We've made them taller. We put a second Twin Towers on top of the first one. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes too if I have anything. All these people die. The score near the end of the movie sounds a little bit like Avatar. The James Horner did both, but that's about it.
There's one more scene I do need to talk about that I just remembered.
Yeah.
So early on, when Andrew first displays creativity, and Sam Neill is like, okay, I want you to dedicate yourself to being creative and making stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then, but some of the time, like, I'm going to teach you stuff. And one of the things that he teaches him, he does the birds and the bees talk.
Yes.
With a robot.
With a robot.
That sounds awfully painful. And people like doing this? Oh, man.
I cannot with this man.
And I was later
but
on.
Sam Neill fucking crushes it still.
Yeah.
Sam Neill does crash it. It's true.
Later on, then when they're like, oh, we can give you a penis. And he's like, Robin Williams then describes what he thinks like an orgasm is based on what Sam Neill taught him.
So this movie comes out. It comes out December 17th, 1999. It's a Christmas movie.
It's true.
It comes out right in time before the Christmas holidays. Not in any way, shape, or form plot-wise a Christmas movie.
No, this is big like Chris Columbus Christmas movie energy to it. It's
But
going to leave you in a good feeling for the holidays.
Yeah, right.
It ends with both of them dying.
And this movie, this is important to know, this movie tanks. This movie was made for a budget between like $90 and $100 million. There's a little
Wait, Stuart, I have to cut you off.
What?
As we know, one of my favorite plot lines on this show is when we read the Wikipedia synopsis for the movie and some bold soul has hyperlinked something completely insane in the plot line of the movie. So at the end of the final act, several decades later, an now visibly aged Andrew again approaches the World Congress with Portia as support to appeal their past decision, wanting to be able to die with dignity. And they have hyperlinked wanting to be able to die with dignity. And you click on it, it brings you to the dignified death Wikipedia page. That's my favorite thing when people just do that with insane things. Stuart, continue.
There's some discrepancies on the budget level for this production because as it was being produced, the budget was inflating quite considerably. And then that was when it was decided that it would be a joint funded production between Sony and Disney. Or no, actually, I think it was released under the Disney label, transferred to Touchstones during production. And it was joint financed by Sony and Columbia Pictures, I think. So there's a lot of discrepancies in the budget, but it was somewhere between $90 and $100 million. pretty big budget for 1999 movie.
You think?
Good. And movie comes out and it makes a total of $87.4 million. So I guess like when we say it tanks, like it loses money, loses a considerable amount of money.
Yeah.
But I think the more important like social element to this reveal that it tanked is that, you know, Patch Adams, which movie we covered like 2 weeks ago, was a bad movie, but it still had the grace, like the graceful title of it being like a Robin Williams comedy movie, right? And that movie actually made a lot of money, even though it's bad and sucks. So enough people went to it and thought, oh, this is like a feel-good family movie I could bring my kids to.
Master Patch.
But Master Patch.
The shows are working.
But this, the reason why this is a little bit more substantial is because, you know, this has Robin Williams' face plastered on the poster, mixed with a little bit of a robotic face. But it is a Robin Williams vehicle. It's a vehicle that Robin Williams not only is in prominently, but it's also a vehicle that Robin Williams himself is like pushing forward a lot as well. And it does bad. And it's sort of the beginning of this trajectory Robin is going in where his movies aren't doing well, and the name of Robin Williams alone isn't being as high of a selling point as it once was. Because if you can make a Patch Adams and still make a good amount of money, you got some credibility to your name that's still there. But you make Bicentennial Man, 1999, artificial intelligence, robots, searching about love and having a journey and all that stuff, all these actors in it, and it tanks, oh boy, your blockbuster capital is decreasing. So that's why I bring this out and I put a lot of emphasis on it, because it is a big deal that like a movie like this that Robin put a lot of time and attention towards does really badly at the box office. Robin would go on later to like kind of talk trash about this movie, as he does with a lot of his bad movies. But yeah, so doesn't do bad. And then critically, it gets panned at the box office. There's Matt, you mentioned the Roger Ebert review of Bicentennial Man begins with promise, proceeds in fits and starts, and finally sinks into a cornball drone of greeting card sentiment.
If your choices do result in someone getting shot, I would typically. You go.
Robin Williams spends the first half of the film encased in a metallic robotic suit. When he emerges, the script turns robotic instead. What a letdown. There was talks about making a sequel called Tricentennial Man, but then that got shelved.
Sure, please read the pitch for the sequel.
The plot was expected to follow the political changes that took place after the death of Andrew the robot, and would feature a cameo appearance by Robin Williams appearing in his robotic form in the afterlife, providing an answer to the philosophical question of whether robots
crazy.
That's crazy. The fuck?
That's the craziest shit ever. What do you mean?
That's robots went to heaven.
That's like
robots go to heaven, guys.
We want to talk about robots going to heaven.
All robots.
Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, end of the movie. Shia LaBeouf is running through the pyramids of Giza.
Oh my god!
With the Matrix of leadership. Megatron shoots his ass.
Sam,
Shia LaBeouf.
Put the cube in my chest.
Put the Matrix in my chest. Sam.
Put the cube in my chest.
Put the cube in my chest. Sam.
Put the
Are
chest
you
in
gonna
my
say
chest.
what he's like?
And he's
the
dying.
circle of prime.
And he's like, and then Shia LaBeouf, he dies. He goes to heaven. And heaven is, there are 7 Transformers. And they're like, Sam, you have earned, the Matrix of leadership is not found. It is earned. And they give him the Matrix leadership in robot heaven. And then he wakes up. He's like, chest has been blown open by a robot. And he's like, I'm fine now.
Would have been great to see Andrew as one of those robots.
That was the point of Batman.
Stop it.
I can take on the church and no one else can take the right choice.
The clown nose is working. Master Pace.
All right. Enough. Just go listen to our Patch Adams episode.
I just want to play.
We had a great time.
I just liked him doing
Robin Williams got nominated for a Razzie for this movie. For worst actor. But you know what he lost to? He lost to Adam Sandler's Big Daddy.
Look,
but don't be feared. Don't be feared.
Adam Sandler a Razzie is so like lame.
Look. It's fine though, because he also got nominated for a Blockbuster Entertainment Award Fortunately, he also lost that to Adam Sandler's Big Daddy. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It's all fine. It all gets made up at the end because he gets nominated for Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Awards. But he also loses that to Adam Sandler's Big Daddy. So
he's losing everything. Big Daddy's just sweeping.
Adam Sandler's Big Daddy is just taking all the good awards and bad awards that Robin Williams could have been put up for. But this movie does get an Oscar nomination for Best Makeup. It loses to Topsy Turvy.
A movie that
I
have never heard of,
but
looks good as hell. Oh my God.
Jim Broadbent is in that movie. Oh, Jim Broadbent.
Jim Broadbent's in that movie.
We're gonna find out who the killer is.
Indy, make it bigger.
Yes, but it gets nominated for Best Makeup. And I think you even said it, Jeff, that like the old person makeup in this movie is actually pretty good.
The robot is an impressive makeup job.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's a prosthetic. It's not, animatronic.
But this is the third of the post-Oscar trilogy flop in a row. And we have a little interlude next week when we talk about AI because Robin's barely in that movie. But the movie after that, we're setting into a new tone of voice here for Robin. It's where, his fans are kind of like disgruntled with his choice that he's even making. And so what does he decide to do? He decides he's going to go in a darker
back to making a comedy.
avenue.
Oh, well. Sorry. I forgot.
We're talking about 1 Hour Photo.
Yeah, I was thinking of Death Smoochie. Keep going.
No, 1 Hour Photo. It goes into a dark route. But that's 2 weeks from now because next week we're talking about a little old movie, also about robots, also about artificial intelligence. It's a movie I've not seen in a while, and I'm looking forward to watching it. But it's 2001 AI, Artificial Intelligence, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Haley Joel Osment.
Sure.
We'll have a good time talking about it, I'm sure. I think it'll be a nice little crisp hour and a half long episode.
Yeah, definitely a short one.
Mark Tilley will be on it. Be good. Yeah. Matt, any final thoughts on Bicentennial Man?
Yeah. Do you guys want to go do some science experiments?
I would like to figure out if a robot can have a soul.
I would like to find out if Robin Williams is a circumcised robot or not.
I just bet we should all kiss.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Oh right.
My brain is so broken that we literally talked about this.
You missed the reference to the movie we were talking about.
Right. I missed the reference to the movie.
This movie has already left my brain. But yeah, no. Any other final thoughts on this movie, guys, before we close it out?
Yeah, I think only final thought is that Disney accidentally fucked up San Francisco City Hall by activating the fire alarm system in the building and spraying water all over the ancient building during production of this movie. That's about it.
This is in that camp of like really frustrating movies.
Yes,
that
deeply frustrating.
Yeah, that we've long talked about. There's a lot of these movies that in our catalog that we've talked about that could have been really good, but they just like every interesting, neat idea that they had in their gas tank, they just kind of blew it out of the water. It was not good. So yeah, very disappointing movie, and disappointing for Robin. I'm not as like critical of his performance when he's got skin on, though I do agree that like he is weaker than like when he's just doing the voice in the suit.
Yeah, no, when it's a full body performance, he is shockingly worse.
Yeah. So, well, thank you all for listening. And Matt, thank you for joining us. Talking about 1999 Bicentennial Man. If you like this episode, please remember to rate, review, comment, like, subscribe, whatever platform you're listening on. As always, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, many other platforms. Wherever you get your podcasts, we're on it. Did I already say special thanks to Michael Bang, William Smith, and Rebecca for the graphic design? And before I go out, Matt, do you have anything you want to plug? Anything you want to shout out or anything like that?
I've got a show out in Northbrook, Illinois that opens December 12th to the 13th. A Christmas Chaos out at Northbrook Public Library. If you're interested and want to go see a fun Christmas show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Folks up in Chicago, Northbrook area, go and see that. It's in December when?
December 12th is open.
December 12th.
2-day run.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I found the link.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on this episode, Matt. We'll have you back soon. And thank you for listening to Bicentennial Man. We'll see you all next week for AI Artificial Intelligence.